because they've already done all the testing and so forth for you, and you could get ideas as to what works and what doesn't work. Another one, when we talked a little bit about getting people's information, how to do it, and how to keep that retention there, another example is Supercuts. They're a haircut franchise. So basically they had a form, and now they've actually updated their form. They're asking for a lot more information than they did about 3 years ago. But basically, when I first signed up, there was just basic, give us your name and give us your email address, and we'll give you $5 off your haircut for the first time. And a men's haircut at that time ranged between, $10 and $15, depending if you don't, if you just want to get a regular haircut at Supercuts. So that's close to 50% off your haircut if you just join their newsletter. So at that time, I would fill out the form, got my, my $5 coupon and so forth. And here's one of the key things, because if they simply had that coupon on their website, I would print it, I would go to the store, redeem my coupon, and they could actually count the number of pages people printed so they'll know how many people came, but they'd lose that interaction or connection with me once I leave the store. That's why it's very important that instead of putting the coupon, a printable one, off their website, have them give your name and email, collect their information so you could continue to send them coupons, promotions, and offers. So what ended up happening is after 30 days, I got this automated email from Supercuts saying, hey, guess what? It's time for, you can see the subject line here, time for a haircut and a coupon. Now, this is for my old email account that got spammed away, so that's why the images are not showing or anything. So I just had to, they did have images and so forth there. But you can see that, and my nickname is Bobby, by the way. It says, hi, Bobby, it's time for that, time again, come into your Supercuts haircut, and here is, click here to print your $1 off coupon for just walking into our store and getting a haircut. So, I mean, when people receive this, I mean, you might just be staring at the monitor and say, hey, you know what, it is time for a haircut again. So, I mean, it automatically, it reminds you to come back, because a lot of these people, they need in-store foot traffic. And they want to always be in front of your face telling you, come into our store, we've now got this offer or promotion or special or whatever it may be. So again, a great sample of how you could keep in front of your customers and get them coming back into your store. Now remember, at that time, they only knew my name and email, and I talked a little bit about collecting too much information at the beginning. However, I got this email from Supercuts later on saying, do you want to keep those coupons coming? Well, if you create a profile, blah, 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 we want to know a little bit more about you. They even said, heck, we'll even send you a coupon immediately for $2 off your next Supercut. So now this is their way of getting more information about me. They can now know my age, my gender. They can know which areas, where am I located. So a specific Supercuts in my area, they could give me their offers. So when we talk about the importance of segmentation, next thing you know, a franchise like Supercuts now has this massive email list in which if they wanted to target, for example, females, perhaps with blonde hair that are living in Toronto that use dye products, for example, and they've got a product for that, or they've got a special for that, they could blast an email marketing campaign specifically to that segmented list based on, getting people's information, perhaps it's upfront or perhaps it's at a later period of time. But remember, there's always that incentive or what's in it for that recipient to actually take this action. Okay, I'm just going to quickly pause here because I just take up another question that came through. Is there an app for the sign-up page on Facebook? It's not an actual. I'm sure there are apps for it. However, the one that we showed you, or the ones that we built from scratch. So there's no advertisements. There's no third party. It doesn't say powered by, and it's usually a different source or a company name. It's all programmed by our developers. So we've got, we're able to capture, a full form, just like a email template or, sorry, a web contact us form would do, but right inside Facebook without using an actual application. So just to kind of show you where this is all heading towards, and this is really where email marketing has really, it's changing. It's constantly changing. I mean, if we look at email marketing back, I don't know, 10 years ago, if you all remember America Online, AOL, when they first came out, and when you got an email from AOL, you used to hear that, "You've got mail," audio clip. I mean, imagine if you heard that every single time today when you got an email. We would go insane. So, the way we use email has changed drastically. But when I talked about initially in my opening slides, the ROI seems to kind of be slipping away. Even though it's still one of the highest, it's still up there, but slowly and slowly it's losing its dollar value for every dollar spent. Here's probably one of the reasons why. I mean, email marketing is still great. You can get in front of your customers, all the benefits that we talked about. And I'll tell you personally, from when I grew up, I just turned 27 this year, so I grew up using Hotmail. That was, that's how we all communicated with friends and so forth. And then I kind of transitioned over to Gmail when, Hotmail had that storage limit problem, and that's the only reason why I went to Gmail is because they offered at that time, I think it was like 2 gigabytes of storage, which was like huge at that time. I think now it's like unlimited. But regardless, anyways, that was sort of the era that I grew up in, is using emails from that form. However, kids these days that are actually growing up, a lot of them are not even using Hotmail or Gmail or any of that. This is actually what has replaced it. It's Facebook. I mean, they're growing up using Facebook as being their primary emailing. I mean, I even have, even between myself, when I communicate with my friends, before it used to be through email, now it's not. Now it's through Facebook. The only way I use email today is for business purposes. So in the workforce, I'll use email. But however, when I'm connecting with the people I want to outside of work, I know they're most likely not going to check their email. They'll probably check their Facebook first. So I will send them a Facebook message instead, because I know they'll probably respond to that faster and quicker. And if you look at the open rates of things like Facebook, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's much higher than your average opt-in or open rate for an email marketing campaign. That's why a lot of times when I even do these webinars, if we post these webinars and then on our email list and we blast it out. We also post on the Yahoo board, so ISCs that are there, they know all the upcoming webinars. But one of the things I do is create a Facebook event, and then I send a direct message to every single person, every single recipient that's a consultant that's on my Facebook fan page, letting them know, hey, I'm doing a webinar tomorrow or whatever it may be. I hope you guys could make it. This is what it's going to be on. And most ICs, they'll probably get that message and read that message. Now, I just realized yesterday that now when you're sending out an email in Facebook, or a direct email, I should say, you can only limit it to 50 people at a time. So I think I've got like 250 or 300 consultants on my list. So I only realized that after my first email. So I apologize for the people that got a duplicated email from me twice. I didn't mean for that to happen, but you can see the way that, again, we are using Facebook now to even email or communicate with consultants opposed to just traditional emailing. What's also replacing traditional emailing is mobile devices. Again, different ways to communicate people. A lot of people are now using texting or emailing through their mobile devices, whether it's the iPhone or the BlackBerry, to communicate with friends, colleagues, and networks. And again, if you look at some of the statistics, according to an article written by the USCM, and this is actually as of last year, 98% of all mobile messages are read. I mean, if you look at, again, if you've ever received a text message or ever received a mobile message, the chances are you are going to open it and read it, because even if you don't recognize who it's from. So I mean, the open rate is extremely high, and this is sort of where the whole next shift is going towards. I mean, it's already there in terms of mobile marketing, but this is where I think WSI is going to see that next big wave come in, especially with these devices like the iPhone and the BlackBerry, where it's easier now to be on the web anywhere we want, but for us to target people in specific areas or locations and directly message them, whether it's through a direct mail campaign or whether it's through mobile ads. And you can see over here, and 15 to 30% of mobile ads, such as text message coupons and so forth, convert into some type of response. So you can see some of